All right, so good afternoon again, everyone. Okay, all right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, I'm not seeing everyone from yesterday, but we have around 14 persons online and a few here in the lab. So I guess we can continue from here. All right. So to begin, let us pray before beginning again. Kind Father, we give thee thanks again that we're able to meet together, Lord, as faculty and staff. I pray, Lord, that thy blessings will be upon us, Father, as we go through this another training session. Thank you for the things, Lord, that we have learned so far. And I pray, Lord, today's lesson will further reinforce those messages. I pray. It's my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right. So an assignment was sent to everyone yesterday, right? I'm sure most of you may have been facing some challenges, right? And for those online, it's the same, right?
Yes.
I'm good.
Mrs. Bentry, you said you're good?
You would be good, Carol. We know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had completed it then, Mrs. Bentry?
Yes, the majority of it. Yeah. Yeah. I did the
Okay.
first section and I did the challenge section.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, and I did receive one or two so far. So you guys can send me that as soon as I can, so that I can review.
Oh, okay. You wanted us to
Oh,
send it?
we just
Okay.
sent it to you.
So what happened to those of us who weren't able to complete it, Mr.
Okay, yeah,
McConnell?
man. So we will be running through that today again. So I will be running
Okay.
through the assignment.
Okay, thank you.
Are you saying we should send it whether or not it was complete?
Well, you can complete while you go along today.
I was kind of
Suppose
complete. It's just that I made errors.
you made errors. Okay, no problem. Then we can correct those as we go through today. Then.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
There was okay. So there was some disconnect in the assignment as well. I accidentally copied and pasted a few of the questions in the challenge section, right? So probably some of you might have seen that and could not proceed any further. So we're just going to see
What
how
was
we
that in
can
the challenge
through this.
section, Mr. McCullough?
No, I was saying I accidentally copied and pasted off the instructions from the first part of the assignment in the challenge section of the assignment.
Oh,
So
maybe that is one of the reasons I ran into problems.
Yes, yes,
No?
possibly. It's possible.
Okay.
All right. So for those you can, so those, for those who started, you can follow along as we go through. Yes, we're going to run through to faith. All right, sure. Okay, all right. So I'm going to.
Are you talking, Ryan? Because I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, so, yeah, sorry about that. I'm saying this is how the assignment should have looked after you had completed it. Right? So let me just undo everything that I did. Okay, so we were to first merge the two cells. So the instruction, so number one instruction was merge and center the title, market shares of major phone providers in the United States. So you should merge it across the ranges A1 to G1. And we did that yesterday, right? So we are merge and center it from A1. In order to merge cells, we would highlight those cells first, and then simply click on merge and center.
Mr. McCullough, I'm
Okay.
not seeing your
And
screen. If you're
that-
sharing, I'm not seeing your screen.
I'm seeing it, so it could be something with your
Same for everyone
computer.
else?
I'm seeing it.
Yes.
So, Mrs.
Okay,
Robinson,
so
it
it
could
might
be your
be-
I'm
device.
not seeing it.
Huh?
No, I'm not seeing either.
It might be a connection.
I'm seeing I'm on campus, but the internet is very unstable.
Okay, yes, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that the connection is a bit bad. So maybe that is it. All right. So just continue. Yes, sure. And the recording will be there as well. So I guess you can follow if you miss anything. All right. So moving on to instruction number 2, change the title font to Cambria 14 bold. All right. So we're changing the market shares of major phone providers in the United States. We're changing it to Cambria. And we're changing the font style to the font size, sorry, to 14. And it asks us to bold it as well. So following so far, everyone? Okay. So instruction number 3 said merge and center the subtitle cellular phones sales during 5 years in range A2 to G2. Right, so it would be A2 to G2. And we're to merge and center that. And we're changing the subtitle to the font to Times New Roman and bold. So Times New Roman. And we're supposed to bold that. And number 5, bold the range A3 to A13. So A3 to A13. We're supposed to bold that. And we're also to bold B3 to G3. All right, and we're supposed to, for number 6, apply the total style to the range A10 to F10. Was anyone able to get that? So apply the total style
So I'd have to
range
go back to look.
A10.
Yeah.
Let me see if I got it. I have to go back to look. Let me see.
Okay. So want to go to A10. So highlight A10 to F10.
Wait. Okay.
And we're supposed to apply the total style. Right? So go to cell styles
Got the lines.
and it's
Yeah.
labeled total.
Right.
So it's A10 to F10.
Yeah.
Once you do that, you realize that the blue line around those cells. All right. So for number 7 now, here was where the disconnect was. I accidentally put type equal B4 plus B5 in cell B10, then press enter. I put that in the challenge section. It was supposed to be a part of the initial instructions.
Oh.
No man, I was saying the part in the challenge section that says type equal B4 plus B5 plus B6 plus B7 in cell B10, then press enter.
That should have come up where number 7 is.
Yes, yes. All right. So it says type in B10. Let us do that. B10. we're supposed to type equal B4 plus
B5
plus B6
plus B6 plus B7 plus B8.
And once you do that, we're supposed to press enter.
Yeah.
So it's B4 plus B5 plus B6 plus
Right.
B6 plus B7. No, it doesn't. So someone was asking if it matters if it's lowercase or uppercase. No, it doesn't necessarily as to. Another part of the
I think
instruction
that's
that
where everything started going awry for me.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Okay, so it was saying for number 8, use the AutoSum function. That was supposed to be a part of the initial instructions as well. Use the AutoSum function to calculate the total in cell C10. Okay, sure. So once you press the enter, it should have calculated the sum of all those cells. All right, so we can continue.
Yes.
No, Mr. McCullough, use the AutoSum function to calculate what?
To calculate the total in cell 10, in cell C10.
The total in cell C10.
Come on,
Okay.
it's a part of the instructions on a challenge, so we can check.
Okay.
So it was,
All right.
so that was the instruction number 8.
Okay.
C4 to C8.
So it's saying we're supposed to put the cursor, or it's supposed to cell C10. So cell C10. And we use the AutoSum function. And the AutoSum function is in the ribbon. So once you press the AutoSum function, you realize that a function automatically comes up. Right? It automatically chose the cell beside that cell. So the instruction was to use the AutoSum function to calculate the range
C4 to
C4 to
C8.
C8. So what we simply do is highlight those cells. So click on the first one and drag down. So that's left click and drag or highlight those cells. Press the enter key on the keyboard.
Once you do that, you do what? Press enter?
Yes, just press enter on the keyboard. No, just for that instruction.
Yeah. I'm watching what you're doing. I'm not doing it on my worksheet. I'm just watching you.
Okay, all right, sure. Yes, for that range. All right. And number 9, it says use the fill handle to copy the function in cell C10 to the range D10 to F10. So it says use the fill handle to copy the function in cell C10 to the range D10 to F10. Okay. Yes. So remember we were discussing this yesterday, the fill handle. So it says use the fill handle to copy the function in the cell C10 to the range D10 to F10. So that means we're going to drag it across D10 to F10. And once you do that, you realize that some numbers come up in the box. So what the fill handle does, it copies the function from the cell C10, and it uses that function for these as well.
Calculated.
You get the function? To range. Yes, that's correct. And drag it across. So that's so easy that was, instead of going through each cell again and typing over the function, then so because it's the same function, then or same format of calculating the total, then you just drag that across, and it automatically calculates the one above it. So as you realize, for C10, the function or formula is equal sum C4 to C8, which is C4 to C8. Over for D10, it is D4 to D8. And for E10, it is E4 to E8. And it's the same thing for F10, F4 to F8.
Ryan, please remind me what is the fill handle again.
Okay, sure. All right, so the fill handle, that is used to copy information from one cell to another. Right, so once you click on a cell, you should be seeing a little square box to the bottom right.
Right.
Okay, yeah, man. So once you over that, the icon changes to a black plus, right?
Okay.
And once you click on that, you can drag it across any range, and it copies the instructions
So
that are in
that black plus sign is actually the fill handle.
the fill handle, correct?
Okay.
Or the square at the bottom is the fill handle. So once you highlight hover over it and drag across, it copies the
everything.
information.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, sure. No, not as yet. So continue the instructions. All right, so for number 10, it says auto sum the range B4 to F4 in cell G4. So we're going to go to cell G4.
Hold on a minute. So we were not quite finished with the top one. You're saying apply the accounting format.
Okay.
We didn't do that. We didn't do the other one. So we're down to auto sum now.
I was just going through everything, using instructions and so. So the instructions that were missing before, I put those in. So we continue down to the challenge.
Oh, so there. It looks like you're gonna have to give us this assignment again, man.
Or I'm going to just post it in the chat.
Because I'm a little bit mixed up here.
You can see.
Right, I'm following you.
The screen's gone. It's like,
yes, I realize that. I'm just posting something in the chat. Alright, so this is how the instructions are going.
It's gone.
Alright, so the next instruction was number 10, auto sum the range B4 to F4 in G4. So for the total sales, we go to the auto sum function, which is right here. Just click on auto sum, you realize that it automatically chooses the cells to the left arm of that cell. Right, so the instruction was auto sum the range B4 to F4. The program would have picked up that already. These are the ranges that you are trying to auto sum. But if you want to change the range, you can always double click and change the cells or the range. So this is correct. And just press enter. So what I did was click on the auto sum function. It picked up the ranges that I was looking for, and press enter. And it says for number 11, use the fill handle to copy the function in cell G4 through the range G5 to G8. So go to G4, use the fill handle, and we'll move it from G5 to G8. Everyone following along? Following? Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So for number 12, it was apply the accounting format to the range B4 to G8. Right, and I put that in the challenge part because we didn't go over that yesterday. I just wanted to see how you guys would have played with it and try and figure it out how it went.
Yeah. It would have worked for me if the thing wasn't mixed up because I'd gone there and was doing whatever, but somehow
Yeah, man, sorry about
something
that.
wasn't adding up.
Sure.
That's okay.
So it says apply the accounting format to the range B4 to G8. So it's B4 to G8. So we'll highlight all these information. So from the range B4 to G8. And we're applying the accounting format to that. So what to do, go to format, and we go to format cells. Yes, format cells. Okay, so you go to format, then format cells, you go to number, and then you select accounting. Yes, the number is at the top, a part of the menu options.
So Mr. Ryan.
Yes, is that Miss?
Yes, couldn't you get it? Because I didn't know how to do it, but I go into that section that has general, and I went down.
General, that is where I went to
That's where
Karen.
it
That's
is.
what I was saying.
So
I was going to ask because that is where I went.
Can it work? Because I didn't know where, so I just tried. Can it work?
Yes, that could work as well. There are
okay.
yes. Okay, so go to format cells, and then we select accounting. And we just click OK. You realize once click accounting, the dollar sign comes and it runs it to 2 decimal places. You got that, Mr. Jones? Okay. All right. So the next instruction was auto-fit the contents of each column. Yes, for the accounting style, for the then you should be seeing numbers at the top, numbers alignment and so. You're going to select numbers, and from that you should be seeing accounting. Yes, the format there. You should be seeing numbers alignment at the top of that, in that box.
Yes?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, man. So let us get back. So for number 13, it says, out of it, the contents of each column, and we must not display the number sign or any weird looking characters. Right? So to do that, we'd highlight those columns that we're using. We highlight the columns that we're using that we have information in. The format, and then we should be seeing out of it column width. Out of it column width, yes, and click that, yes. Once you do that, you realize that everything comes together a bit closer, or fits in each cell, I should say. All right, so for number 14, it says remove the dollar sign from the range B4 to F8. It says from B4 to F8, we're going to remove the dollar sign. Range B4 to F8. And we're going to remove the dollar sign. No, not going to right click. We're going to go. Yeah, man, there are shortcuts. Let us run through this. Yeah, yes. So format, then format cells. Right, so format cells. You see the symbol box, or the symbol label, and the drop-down box beside it. So it said that we're supposed to remove the dollar sign. So we're just going to choose none. Choose none. Correct.
Okay, I went your way. I went to the cell side.
Yes, yes, I can. But let us go through this. Okay, sure. So let us go through that again. So the range of cells, which is B4 to F8. Go to format, then format cells, and the label with the drop-down box beside it, symbol. Click on that and then click none. And it says set the decimal place to 0 as well. So we shouldn't have any decimal places behind that. So change that to 0. Once you do that, you press OK. And the dollar sign and the decimal places should have been removed. Alright, so for number 15, it says use the max function to display the highest value of the range B4 to B8 in cell B11. So we're going to cell B11, and we're going to find the max function. Right? You can choose to type the max there to get it. Equal max. So we're going to B11, correct. So let's click in that cell as I said, you can type in the function. However, the functions are already preset by Excel. So it's right beside the AutoSum function. There's a drop-down arrow there, and you just select the max from that list.
I didn't
Yes,
see it. Beside AutoSum, you said there's a drop down.
Yes, there's a drop-down arrow right beside it.
Okay.
Okay, and as you realize, it automatically picks the cell above it, but you can go ahead and change the range. So you just select the range, select and highlight that range. No man, I'm saying beside AutoSum, you should be seeing a drop-down arrow. That's right here. No, well, no, I'm saying you could do that, but the function is already preset by Excel. Yeah, so we're highlighting the range B4 to B8. And then once you do that, you press enter. So what the max function did, it actually chose the highest value in that range. And then press enter, correct. And for number 16, it says use the min function to display the lowest value of the range B4 to B8 in cell B12. So you go to cell B12, and we can, as I said, you can either choose to type out the function, or you can select it from the drop-down list beside the AutoSum. So min, and just select the range that you want, and then press enter. I realized that the least or the smallest number in that range was 152,231. Yes, a million things. Yes. To find a smaller number, yes. And look, correct. Yes, so beside the AutoSum, you should be seeing the drop down arrow. I select min. And what happened? It selected the range, the cells above it, right? Yeah, and it did the same for average as well. So everyone following online?
Ryan, I'm sorry, I missed a little part of it. I had to step away from the computer for a little bit.
Okay. So
when you were doing the minimum, the maximum, and the average.
Yes, I'm just following up with everyone. We're selecting the functions. So I'll go over it after I finish.
Okay. Thank you.
Go again. So I highlight this range. Drag it down. Enter. I'll show you the smallest. Yeah, you do the same thing for average as well. Highlight the range and enter. Alright, so everyone got it for average, right? So we did the same. So we're doing the same thing for average. Okay, so the average doesn't know what average does. It calculates the average between those 5 cells or 6 cells. And for sorry. Okay, and for number 18, it says select the range B11 to B13.
Excuse me, sorry, so the average is what, the max, is the max minimum like insurance?
No, what the average does.
Or like insurance B4 to B8?
Yes, you have to select B4 to B8. Correct. Right. And enter. All right. So it says for instruction number 18, it says select the range B11 to B13. So I like those range, and we're going to use the fill handle to copy the functions in these cells to the range C11 to C13. So C11 to G13, that is. Yes, so you just use the fill handle and drag it across. To G13. G13. And that's a quick way. As I said, you don't have to go through and type in the same thing in each cell again. And the last instruction was to delete row number 19. Number 9, correct. Just highlight that, and you can use the delete option at the top. Yes, and it should be looking something like this. Everyone has a line? Yes, you delete the entire row. Mrs. Morris, you following? Yes, you could use it.
Yes, I am, Ryan. I'm following you on. Good.
Okay. So the delete key wouldn't work if you try. So you can try delete key wouldn't work for that. And right click and delete. Yes, I could do that. So you could either right click and delete or select the delete option at the top of the ribbon.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, great. And Ms. Morgan, you following as well?
Can you repeat, Mr. McCullough?
Okay, Ms. Parchment, I'm not sure. You're asking me to repeat?
You're asking me if I'm following?
Yes, I'm asking if you're following.
Yeah, yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Yes, and so that would be for the assignment, and I'm sure it's quite simple now, right? That is clear.
Yep.
Now that you've done it, yes.
Shortcut. Okay, come on. So there are shortcuts there. So someone was asking if there are shortcuts to get like the decimal places and the dollar sign and so on, and remove them. All right. So as you see, I highlighted this range that has the dollar sign in it. If you look closely, you can see there's a dollar sign symbol right here as well. You could choose that. And you can see more accounting formats, and it brings you to the same pop-up box. Yeah, if I forget format, you just click on this one. Yes. Yes, I guess everyone got 100, so no need to submit again, right? Okay. Yeah, man. Any more questions before we move on? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Sure. Yeah. So let us move on then. So most of the assignment would have covered most of what I wanted to cover today as well, right?
Okay.
So we're just going to look on conditional formatting and absolute cell referencing and so on. No man, so we're still going to work with this for conditional formatting. Yes, you can save this as the assignment one. Yes. You see it, yes. All right, so what conditional formatting does is a feature in spreadsheet. It allows you to apply specific formatting to cells that meet certain criteria. Right, so for instance, in the one that I have up now, so for instance, in the total sales column, you want to identify or to quickly identify the largest or the smallest value in that, apart from having the max and min functions. So what conditional formatting does, it highlights a cell based on a certain criteria that you set out. Clear? Okay, yes. So for instance, we're looking at total sales below 2 million. We can set a condition that we would highlight all those values that are below 2 million. Clear? All right, cool. No, not the content. It's right there, so we'll look at it. Let's go. So there are different conditional formatting that are there, and if you look on the ribbon, you should be seeing an icon there saying conditional formatting. So once you click on that, you should be seeing highlight rule, and if you over highlight rule, you can see greater than, less than, and some different criteria.
All right. Oh, okay.
For instance, you're looking at figures greater than. So I'm going to click on the greater than. And I'm going to select these values. Once you click on that, a pop-up box should come up. No, we're going to conditional formatting. And the highlight rule. And then select the greater than. Yes. And then greater than. Alright, so I'm going to change my value to figures greater than 3 million. So highlight the ranges.
Yeah.
Conditional formatting. Highlight rule. Greater than. And I'm going to change the figure that is 0. I'm changing mine to 3 million.
I'm not seeing
Yes,
what
it does
you
like
do.
that. Yes, and I changed mine to 3 million. Yes, when you have large, the larger one, yes. So this is just a simple one. So as you can see what happened, it actually automatically highlights the figure that is above 3 million. It is only one of those. You can also change the color. So for instance, going back to the greater than, changing mine to 3 million again. Yes, so on this side that you're seeing width, and it says light red. Once you click on that, you can choose green. Most persons would use green for this. Green, that is a positive figure. Right? So select green, and we can do the same thing as well for another. So for quarter 1 in 2019, I'm going to select that range, and I'm going to select the highlight rule less than. Move to less than 400,000. That was less than 400,000.
I'm not sure I got that, William. Where did you put that condition?
Okay, sure. So the condition was that I just highlighted the cells. So before applying a condition or the conditional
Yes.
formatting, you want to highlight the
Right.
range of cells that you want the condition to cover.
Uh-huh.
Once you do that, you go to conditional
Right.
formatting at the top,
Uh-huh.
and I select the highlight rule, and I selected less than.
Less than what?
I chose 400,000, but you can have your condition.
That's why I'm asking, where's the 400,000 that you choose? Where is that?
I put it in. So in this box that is seen on my screen, you're not seeing it.
No, I'm not seeing that box. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Where did you put the 400,000? Yeah.
okay, sure. All right, it seems as though that isn't showing up on the screen now, but if you try it on your computer, it should show up.
Okay.
So a pop-up box should come there saying less than, and a box with a number. We can change that, and I put 400,000 in there.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that is the highlight rule, right? We can also have different conditional formatting like the top, bottom. So the top, bottom actually highlight values that are, say for instance, within a top 10, a top 10 amount. So you actually identify the top 10 values or the top 5 values.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But for this, for the entire sheet, for columns. But you can do that if you have larger spreadsheets. Right? All right, so the top bottom rule, as I said, it highlights values that are, say, in the top 5 or
On
top
the
6
bottom. Got it.
worksheet.
Okay.
Is the application. All right, so I'm just going to select the top 10 items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see my box now, it's Morris, right?
Yes, I'm seeing it now.
Yeah, man. So a box that should have popped up for the highlight rule.
Oh, okay.
But for the top 10, I'm just going to choose top 5
Seeing
because
it
I
now.
don't have 10 items highlighted here.
10 items. Right.
So I'm just going to select top 2. And as you can see, in the background, those values are being highlighted. So the top two items are being highlighted. If I change that to 3,
Okay.
you see that the top 3 is highlighted.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I'm going
Yeah,
to
I've
change
seen that.
the color.
Okay.
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 All right,
And it chooses
and
the color for you as well.
no, you choose the color. Okay, so I'm going
Okay.
to go again. So you highlight the range, so the conditional formatting,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a top bottom rule.
Right.
And you can choose if you want the top 10
Sure.
or the bottom 10 or the top 10%
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Right.
Above average and below average is the same as well. So
Mm-hmm.
you choose the above average. Yeah, I chose above average, but you can choose the top 10 or the top 10 rule.
Oh, okay.
So what the system did, it actually calculated the average in the background, right?
Mhm.
And it shows or it highlights the figures that were above average.
Above average. Okay. Okay.
So, and there's another one there, data bars, color schemes. You can test those out as well. So let me just try one of the data bars. The same one, yeah, for quarter one 2010.
Mhm.
Just going to choose one of those data bars. I realize some bars came up beside the numbers, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you can choose the type of formatting or conditional formatting that you want to choose based on how you want it to be displayed. Yes. Well, mhm, mhm. We'll do all of that. Yes. It's a mathematical thing, you can say. So the data bar, it actually shows the length of the bar relates the value of the cell. In that sense. What is this? Correct. Correct. Lose. Yeah. Yeah. So there are different functions there as well. So formulas, I should say. So if you look on your ribbon, you should be seeing a formula tab. And there are different formulas there. There's the auto sum function, the auto sum one that we looked on previously. They are recently used, so it's showing me the ones that I had recently used. The financials, if you're in finance, and they are logical functions or formulas.
What is that?
Okay, so the logical ones, it actually compares information in your sheet. So for instance, you're seeing
Uh-huh.
and you're seeing if. Right, so what the if one does, if you hover it, it checks whether a condition is met and returns a value if the value is true.
Oh.
Right, so let us just run through one quickly.
So if whatever is
Yes, so I'm going to
blah
click
blah
on
blah.
the if function.
Mhm.
I realize a pop-up box should come up. Alright, sure. Yeah, man. So you go to the formulas tab at the top of the screen, or the ribbon, and you can choose from the logical listing. And you select the if. And once you do that, it asks you for the logical test and the values that you're supposed to enter. Right, so I'm going to select this. So that's one way to do it, right? Then so you could simply type the if function in the cell that you want the information to be displayed. So I'm just going to do one by typing it. So if, once you type the if, equal if, you want to put one of those brackets, and I'm going to add if G6 total sale is greater than G8 total sales, So less than 5.
Then,
And then you're going to put true.
when you put a comma there,
Yes, I put a comma there as well. Suppose. And then your quotation marks. Yes, G5 is less than G8. I'm going to put true. And you use a single quote, not a double quote. Let me press that. Yes, TRUE, close quotes.
to close a bracket, right? Where you put the bracket to close.
No, we couldn't close bracket as yet.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can have space, but that's all right. No, single quote.
ouch.
And then pause, yes. So what this is saying is, if cell G5 is less than single
G8.
quotation. Yes, on both. So it's just that it came one after the other, so it seems as though. So what is, no, I have true and I have false. A single quotation. Single. Yes.
But you have double quotation before
It's actually
false.
a single. No, so it starts with a single one. So so let me go over it. So it's equal if G5 is less than G8, comma, single quote, true, comma, single quote,
But you
then a
have a
single
double
quote again.
quote. You have a double quote where false.
No, it's a single quote.
Oh, one is for
Yeah.
true and one is for false. Okay.
No, it's a single quote. So all right. So this is how it is. Um, yeah, yeah. So it's so I closed the first quote after true, and then I opened another quote to put false before false after the comma.
And then you
Yes,
close the bracket.
the close it. Yes. Yeah, it's mad. And after, correct. So it's true, comma, single quote, and then open single quote false.
False.
So that's why I'm showing it as if it's a double quote. It's computer. All right, I'm just going to press enter and let's see what happens there.
That's the problem with this formula.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Oh, so space.
No, that's how it's.
So you enter that now?
Yes. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a let me see.
This is giving you space.
Right, so it's showing me that I'm having some error in my formula. Let's try correcting that. So, right, so I'm having some error in my code. Let me see. Okay, so I'm having some error in my code. Let me just check on that. But as I said, what that does, it actually puts false. It falls or it put false or true in that box. If one column is greater than the other. Yes, so the code is wrong in mine.
We can sort that out later on.
Okay, yes, yes. We'll have to look on that later. I'll send you that later to let you know how that works. All right, so there is another assignment that I wanted us to look on or work on while we go through the course. Let me just share that with you in the chat now. You can choose to work with someone else because it might get a bit complicated. But everything that we went over should be should actually allow you to complete the assignment. Yeah, but it's a bit long. But you can choose to work with someone if you choose.
What time do we end though?
Can we end today? Yeah, man, we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up now. So I'm just sharing the assignment. Let me share my screen.
When is this one due?
We're working as we go along, so it's due the ending of the last class, which is Tuesday. So we're working on it in parts.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to everyone. But let me just share it to share this screen. Yeah, this is what it is. You see my screen clearly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Zoom up a bit.
We're not seeing the entire.
Okay. You're seeing a bit better now, right?
Not the entire thing though.
Okay, yeah, man. I'm just going to scroll through because
Just
it's a
one
bit.
question.
It continues.
Okay.
So as I said, it's a bit long. I mean, we covered pie chart. We covered most of the things that are there. So we should be able to to complete parts of it, or most of it.
Super.
All right, so the thing, it is actually a school management system where persons or lecturers enter the grades of students and you perform certain calculations like the average, the total, if a student passes or fails an assignment and so on. So all the assignments would be incorporated in this system, this color.
Hi. That looks like fun.
We have, yes, so we have about a week.
Oh
week.
my goodness.
Of a week. All right, so as I said, you can work with someone.
So Ryan, will you
like-
just send this to us?
Yes, I'll be sharing it shortly. So what I said earlier, it's a spreadsheet that handles students' grade, and you're required to design the sheet so that teachers can enter grades and calculate the final grade of the students, right? And they get a pass or a fail status. The students are based on their scores.
Okay. Oh my
I'm
word.
going to share it with you. So you'll have multiple sheets. You should have more than one sheet after this.
Okay.
You're going to use formulas as well in that. And the instructions should be quite clear as set out. But if you have any question, yes, this is a one. No, that's
Oh my goodness.
15 simple questions.
And there's more. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes, so as I said, you can choose to work with someone to make it
Carol.
easier. So I'll be sending that to your email.
Carol.
shortly.
So
Okay.
considering that tomorrow is my birthday, I should be seeing so many things to do.
That has nothing to do with it. All the reason for you to do it.
Go away, Julia. Ah,
Right. Yes, so apart
Happy
from the
birthday when it comes.
thank you.
Yes, it's smart. So as I said, it could be easy, so no pressure on the birthday.
It's pretty easy for you to say that, Ryan, but yeah,
All right.
I guess I'll get there. I'll get there sometime.
All right.
Ryan?
So we went through creating charts, right? Which was quite easy yesterday.
Well.
We went through the max, mean, and average.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
For most of these informations, you will just be putting in that information, just creating it. We looked on the dollar sign today, right? So instead of the dollar sign, we're having a percentage. And the decimal places as well. So, and that's it. Yes, we're going to just type out this. And that's it. So we're back at question number 1, and we went through everything that was discussed.
Yes,
So quite
sir.
easy. Yes?
We'll see when we get into it.
Yes, so you're going to put in those. So the instructions are there. So input. So which
So
information
you
to
said
input.
you're sending us this via email?
Yes, I'll be doing that soon.
Okay, thank
If-
you.
Okay, yeah, all right. So someone found out how to do the if. So I guess she should be sharing it with us. You're
Say again?
you're on the
Yeah, I'm not this side, I'm on the beginning.
no, I'm asking if you're on Blackboard.
No,
Okay.
it's not, it's the same way, and all happened is, you put the same equal if,
Yeah.
open parentheses for G5 less than G8, comma, just the word true, comma, the word false, and close parentheses, that's it. So,
Okay, so no quotes.
yes, equal if. Equal if.
Ryan,
What was that? Let me get that.
Ryan,
Yes, I'm still here.
you were saying somebody found out something. What is that?
Okay, yeah. So someone was sharing with us. They found out the formula for the if.
The conditional
Oh, for the if.
formatting.
Okay.
For the if. So
Close the parentheses. And press enter.
They could
okay,
give
so
it to you and you could include it with the assignment.
yes.
You hear,
So
Ryan?
well, if yes, I'm hearing you. I'll put it in the assignment.
Oh, but you need to have 4 ears because people talking to you from somewhere else.
Yes, that's what I'm realizing. All right, so let me just share what I discovered, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so what they said they did, they removed the quotation marks.
Let's see.
Right, so if you're seeing on my screen, there are no quotation marks, and a false is being displayed.
Okay.
It's
So
saying
open bracket
if G5 is greater than G8, which is G5
comma.
is greater than G8, less than, sorry, less than.
Less than G8, comma, true,
Now we're going to
comma,
put
false.
true or false. So we're going to put true or false.
There's
So
no
it is
quotation.
false. So it should be displaying false because 2.6 million is greater than
Less than.
this.
Okay.
Are you saying it should not be saying false?
No, it should be saying false because the
Oh,
formula
okay.
was
You're frightened.
yeah, the formula was if
Yeah.
G5 is less than G8, which is not.
It is. That's why I wondered what
It is.
you were saying.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. And I'll be sharing that with you guys later again. So as I said earlier, you can choose to work with someone. If you have any questions, you can also call anyone at the distance center department, and we'll be able to assist you as well.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so thanks again, everyone, for being here. I wasn't hearing from a few persons like Dr. Alida. Okay.
Thank you
Yes,
for having
Mr.
me.
Ryan,
I
thank
sent
you.
you,
Okay, sure.
Ryan, I
Thank you.
sent you a message.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that.
Mr. Ryan, I also
Okay.
sent you a message.
So you're saying you want to see how we export data from Excel to SPSS?
Would you have to save it to a CSV file?
Yes, I think you may need to save it as a CSV file first before. And then, no man, that's so someone was asking how to export data from Excel to another program. So another one that is similar,
Carol,
which is
Uh-huh.
SPSS.
is that you?
In a way.
Carol,
Yes, it is.
I sent you a message.
Much more complex.
No, I think, who is asking if it's Carol? I'm not the one who was asking, but I was just saying
No, this is
that you probably
Angelia.
need
I'm
to
saying
save
I
it as a
sent you a
CSV
message.
file and then upload it to SPSS and then convert it when you're
Carol.
going to the SPSS. I think
No.
that's what.
Carol,
Yes.
Angela, why don't you just call her? Apparently she's not
What
hearing
happened?
you very well. So call her when you're done.
but no, because I need to tell her that I sent her a message in the chat. I wanted her to look at it. Carol,
Okay. All right, everyone. So see you on Monday. And thanks for being here again.
Yes, Ryan. See
And
you
Thank
Monday.
you.
Thank you
for
so much.
meeting us, right?
So on Monday we
Thank you,
should be at
Mr. Ryan.
present through and yes,
Yes, we have tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night.
all
Right.
weekend.
No, we have Saturday night, that's why I don't know. Okay, we have,
Okay. All right, thank you.
It's kind of